Building your own identity results in less freedom, not more. We live in a world where identity is very fluid. The whole idea of your sexuality or your gender or your job or who you are in any number of ways always feels like a bit of a moving target. And that means for us, this question of who am I always appears to be in constant flux. We can never quite pin it down. Even when we think we do, something changes in life. You thought you were a nurse, and then all of a sudden you have a kid, and now you're a full-time stay-at-home mom, right? You thought you were a caregiver, but now all of a sudden something happens and you're a care receiver. The answer that our culture gives to us is that your identity is something you have the power to build on your own. Who am I? Well, you know the answer to that question. Just keep drilling down deep into your heart and you'll discover who you are. And if you don't know, you can just kind of piecemeal things together to determine and craft your own identity. You build it from scratch. But that sort of approach actually results in less peace, not more, because there's no end to the number of ways you can answer that question. Who am I is a prison from which you and we would never emerge on our own. That's why I love what Jesus says in Luke 2:49. He's at the temple. This is the teenage Jesus, but instead of playing video games or chasing after girls, Jesus is spending his time in the temple. This wouldn't be a problem, but his parents are kind of looking for him. He's been missing for 3 days, and finally his mother finds him and she says, "Look, Jesus, don't you care about our anxious hearts? We've been looking for you." And Jesus' response to this says a lot about his identity. Listen to this. This is Luke 2:49. "Why were you searching for me?" he asked. "Didn't you know I had to be in my Father's house?" But they did not understand what he was saying to them. I love how firm and sure and fixed Jesus' understanding of himself is. Jesus knows the answer to the who am I question, and he knows the answer for you too. See, when your identity is in Christ, you don't have to build it from scratch. Instead, you get to open your new identity like it's a brand new Christmas gift, and you get to walk around in it. Your identity is not something you have to achieve, it's something you receive. So who am I? Well, in Christ, you are not an accident because you have been predestined. You belong because you have a family you've been adopted into. And you are forgiven, redeemed, and loved beyond reason.